we've got a lineup that'll scorch the hair right off your eyebrows. These are the WWF's hottest matches. Hello, everyone. I'm Sean Mooney here at Coliseum Video headquarters to host the greatest tape yet in our Coliseum Video collection. Every match on this tape was hand-selected for sizzling action. From the high-flying Rockers taking on the Orient Express to a special Coliseum exclusive pitting the Macho King and his Queen against the American Dream Dusty Rhodes and Sweet Sapphire, with two very special guests at ringside. Well, at least one of them is special. And we won't leave you out in the cold when it comes to features. We'll track the WWF Tag Team Championship, take an in-depth look at Jake the Snake Roberts in our Coliseum profile, and then melt you down with our brutal WWF Superstar workout. Let's turn up the heat right away as the fiery Tito Santana takes on the model Rick Martel.
The following contest is scheduled for one fall. Coming down the aisle from Cocoa Beach, Florida, weighing 234 pounds, Rick the Model Martel.
Hello, everyone, and welcome. I'm Gorilla Monsoon, along with Bobby the Brain Heenan, here exclusive for Coliseum Home Video's WWF hottest matches, Brain. And believe me, these are.
This is going to be a hot one. Two former tag team partners until Santana turned his back on Rick Martel.
What?
And his opponent from Tocula, Mexico,
Jam-packed here, Glennsville, New York, for this classic for Coliseum Home Video. Look at him. Hanging from the rack.
Now this is going to be a classic match. They both can fight. They're both in great shape. They both can wrestle. They're both veterans of the ring. They know what they're doing, and they just don't like each other.
That makes for a hot match, Brad.
A great match. Smell that arrogance. Isn't that wonderful?
Oh, it's disgusting.
You know, I put a little behind my ear the other day and got
You put a lot. I think you took a bath in it.
No, I got on a flight on American Airlines. Flight attendants were all over me.
Oh, yeah, you didn't have a ticket, right?
No, I had a ticket.
Oh.
The next flight was even better. They had lady stewardesses.
Oh, please. Nice reversal, crotch switch, and right to the ropes.
Good move.
Third man in the ring, Joey Marella, one of the premier referees in the World Wrestling Federation.
You can only count to three. Tito, you're looking in the eyes of the man that made you.
Oh, please.
He carried the load.
Are you kidding? It was Santana who carried the load for that team.
Are you kidding me?
Martel was always sick.
He's been injured a few times.
Always got shook up rather easily.
You're very cruel right now.
Boy, I'm enjoying this one. Been a long time since I've done anything for Coliseum Home Video.
Pick a winner and I'll buy you dinner.
Oh, yeah?
Or you buy me dinner.
Drop kick, 1 foot caught him.
Couldn't have caught him better if he had both feet. Who do you like?
Who do I like? I like Tito Santana.
Okay, I like Martel. For dinner.
For dinner.
You name the spot or I'll name it.
We'll pick the spot after the match is over.
Got it.
Oh, beautiful hip lock by Tito. And a drop kick of his own. Right into mush, another one.
Two of them.
Martel heading for lower ground. Arriba indeed.
You know what Arriba means? Again. No. Means swim faster. The border guards are behind us.
Will you stop? Can't you ever come out here and be serious?
Swim, Lopez, swim! I can't, amigo. The alligator got me.
You back him up. I'm checking my molars. You got to give credit where credit is due, Brain. Look at Martel. Got a great body, great technique, great mastery of the wrestling moves and holds.
Speaks French.
I don't consider that one of his assets, really.
Well, he can tell you where to go in 2 different languages.
So what? One is sufficient.
Get your point across better with 2.
And it's just some question of time before some gold from somewhere ends up around the waist of this arrogant individual.
Or Santana.
Oh,
Santana's a former champion. He's a former Intercontinental champion.
Former co-holder of the tag team title.
Right, he's done it all here.
Going to work on the knee. Stretch out those lateral collateral ligaments. That's what you got to do with a guy like Martel. Get him down and go to work on one body part.
That's right, because he's so quick. He can stand right next to you and drop kick your teeth out.
Tito now working on the hamstring area.
Tito's getting him ready. He's setting him up for that figure four.
I hope so.
Or that spinning toe hold.
Both of these guys in great physical condition. You don't have to worry about either one of them running out of gas.
You don't see much of that anymore. Good basic toe hold. All the pressure's on the knee, and he's pulling back on the ankle and the foot.
Handful of hair by the model.
Well, it's there. You got to do something with it.
Leave it alone. I'm surprised, you know, Brain, that the model doesn't belong to anybody, doesn't have anyone looking out after his interest. How come you didn't make him bid? Oh, maybe you did for him to be a Heenan member, a family member of the Heenans. Maybe he refused.
I'm not saying I did, and I'm not saying I didn't.
Or whether he did or didn't. You're being very
if I did have business dealings with Mr. Martel, it's strictly personal.
Oh.
And I might be managing him right now. You don't know it.
That's true.
Maybe nobody knows what I'm really up to. You and the humanoids out there, for as long as you've seen me on television and know my history, you only know maybe a tenth of me.
Well, I'm not anxious to find out about the other 9/10. Leapfrog and a beauty, but well, came down on that hamstring and it couldn't support his body weight.
See, that's what I was saying. Good basic wrestling. Worked on the man's leg, which later on benefited him.
And Tito going right to work on it again. Oh,
that's illegal. Ring the bell, ref.
Right into the steel post.
He should be counted out by
and
now.
Once again.
What's he got, a count of 5, 10?
Got a count of 10 on the outside.
Well, I could have counted 50.
But you're not the referee.
Boy, I wish I was sometimes.
So do I. You
ever drive down the road and you see one of those old women that shouldn't be driving, like the boss man's mom? They should be put away, taking up the whole road. Boy, I'd love to pull her over, read her rights, and put her in the trunk of the car for about 2 weeks.
I'm sure you would.
Drive her to Needles, leave her there, 115 degrees.
You're a very vindictive person. There's the sign with the figure 4 leg lock.
Told you he was going for it.
Santana whipping around. Oh, nice counter.
Santana went for the wrong leg, though. Did you notice that?
He went for the wrong leg.
He's been working on the man's left leg, and he put the spinning toe hold on the right leg.
It wasn't the spinning toe hold. He was going for the figure 4. And on the figure 4, the other leg comes up and over, and that's the leg that the pressure comes on.
Are you saying I'm wrong?
Absolutely.
Well, it doesn't matter then if you have 2 legs. Either one is ambidextrous to the center of gravity there.
Legs are not ambidextrous.
They are if you're a chicken. Ever had a chicken leg that wasn't? You can eat them on either side.
Oh, please.
You make
Give
no
me
sense.
a break.
You make no sense, Monsoon.
Smart maneuver here by the model, Rick Martel.
I'm ambidextrous.
You are.
I'm just as charming in the daylight as I am at night.
Oh, please. Would you confine your remarks to the match, please? Tito in trouble.
Snap his tamale right here.
Oh, neck right on that bottom rope. That's an automatic disqualification in my book.
Oh, your book. But he could bang his leg into the ring post 3 times.
Well, obviously for this referee, neither one of those moves was.
Well, for this referee, he's lucky he's got a job.
Nip and tuck, back and forth. What a confrontation.
Japanese Orient Express is here?
No.
Oh. He said nip. Tuck.
Has nothing to do with that.
Well, one guy was nicknamed Tuck.
Martel perched up there. Well, it took him a long time to get there.
Whoa. Well, could have done worse damage.
He'll be singing with the Supremes next week. Begging off right here.
That Latin blood is flowing, isn't it now?
Certainly is.
But you don't want to get French blood warm either.
Martel's in deep trouble. Oh. Well, I'm glad I retired.
I'm not.
You're not.
You
Tito's is still in the ring, Brain, the Heenan family would be in mucho trouble.
Now you have to say that.
Look at that!
Just because Tito's here, you got to say mucho.
2 count, no. Close, but no cigar.
Close, but no burrito.
This is just the beginning of the fantastic matches you're going to see here, courtesy of Coliseum Home Video on this WWF Hottest Matches tape.
And it's getting hotter.
If you don't have this in your collection, forget about it. You're nowhere.
If you send me 200...
Small package!
He's got him.
Nope.
If you send me $249.50, I can see to you get money.
249.
249.
200. Well, what do I have to do? Fly you somewhere?
Handling charge.
Oh.
Whoa!
Backdrop and a beauty by Santana, and there's the sign for the Flying Four.
The flying jalapeno.
He nailed him.
Right out of the ring. He's not going to get a pin here.
Unfortunately, he fell right out of there.
Boy, was Martel lucky there.
He's in dreamland
Had
right
he been
here.
in the middle of the ring, he'd have been out. Come on, ref, back him away.
Did you look at this? Martel with the arrogant spray gun all right in the face of Santana.
He deserves it. See the way he manhandled the World Wrestling Federation official? He deserves it.
He blinded him. Tito's eyes are burning.
You owe me dinner. You owe me dinner. And we're going to the best joint in town. And I'm driving. I'll go through the window first.
Martel, what a cheap victory here for him.
I'm having the large fries tonight.
As he used that dispenser to blind Tito Santana. Let's go back and take a look at some of the action that went down earlier on. Here it comes.
Now watch this. He won't let Martel in the ring. Punches him again. The referee tries to get some order here. Martel picks up the can of arrogance, mainly to defend himself, I believe.
Oh, yeah.
But Santana's lost it. There he shoves the referee down. No regard for rules. So if you have no regard for rules, then there are no rules. There's your winner, Rick Martel.
Probably would have been an automatic disqualification.
Come on, let's go get dinner. I want some nuggets.
Please.
Come on.
Tito reeling in pain as the model makes the cover. I didn't like this kind of victory. We're gone, folks.
Apple turnovers for everyone.
Tito Santana and the model Rick Martel have come a long way since their days as tag team partners, and even further still since they held the WWF Tag Team Championship belts as Strikeforce. Now, back then, they had a formidable combination of skill and determination, 2 qualities essential for gaining the tag team belts. Now, looking back through the years, it is fascinating to observe how each winning team put together a unique combination of ability and desire to attain the coveted title of WWF Tag Team Champions. Let's take a look at the history behind these belts. Is it hot in here or is it me?
Of all the titles that are contested within the ranks of the World Wrestling Federation, none are so resolutely vied for than the Tag Team Championship. Here are the essential attributes that make a team worthy title contenders, or indeed, title holders. Both men must have a complete dedication to each other, understanding not only their strengths, but their weaknesses too. And intangible in this understanding is their ability to read their partner's minds. Physical conditioning is a priority. Stamina and durability are often the path to ultimate victory. Power, of course, is a definite plus. Individual skills must be of the highest degree, but the overriding asset for any championship pairing is precision teamwork. Put all these elements together and you have the formula for success and universal acclaim. Over the past few years, tag team title matches have been a live volcano, erupting with surprising results. Let us go back to a banner day in tag team competition for an awesome team who struck fear into the hearts of their opponents by their very presence alone. Demolition. The date, March the 27th, 1988. The champions until this fateful day had been Tito Santana and Rick Martel, Strikeforce. A very impressive duo who had charted their course to the tag team title on blistering speed combined with hit-and-run tactics.
Max is in there. Referee trying to get Dino out of there. Look at Fuji. Beautiful maneuver by Santana, and he's still holding on to the crab. Fuji now up on the apron. He's getting clobbered.
Oh, he's got the cane of the referee.
Oh, the referee never saw that. Nailed him with a cane right across the neck. Referee's down there looking. He's hurt. Fuji's down.
If the ref gets up, Martel's covered.
He sees it.
2.
Oh, it's over.
Here are your winners and new World Wrestling Federation Tag Team Champion, Demolition.
The two powerhouses, Axe and Smash, dominated this title match and continued to dominate the World Wrestling Federation ranks of tandem wrestling with their crushing power. Except for a brief period when a slight lapse of concentration cost them the title against the Brainbusters, who incidentally was soundly thrashed in a return title encounter, Demolition appeared to be absolutely invincible. That is, until the penultimate day of 1989. 5 days after Christmas proved to be a cold day in Huntsville, Alabama, for it was there they ran foul of two determined men with all the right credentials and answers. Haku, a great athlete, schooled in the brutal science of martial arts, and a 7'4", 520-pound mastodon, Andre the Giant. These two known collectively as the Colossal Connection. Once again, the volcano erupted.
Coming in. All 4 wrestlers in there now. Smash risking disqualification. Oh, he caught him. What an incredible kick to the jaw. Oh, if he hits it, this could be it. 1, 2, 3. He got him. New champions. I can't believe how they dominated Demolition. The winners of this bout and new World Wrestling Federation Tag Team Champions, the Colossal Connection.
But wouldn't you know it, Demolition were down, but certainly not out. In the comparatively short time of 3 months, they had tenaciously battled their way back to the position of top contenders. Now, they deliberately chose WrestleMania 6, which took place in Toronto, Canada, for an unprecedented third attempt to take back that much-coveted title.
This place is going crazy.
Bobby Heenan over trying to free the Giant. Can he make it in time?
Look at Andre. He's tied up. He can't get there. There it is. Over for the cover. It's over.
New Tag Team Champion. The winners of this bout and new World Wrestling Federation Tag Team Champion, Demolition.
They have done it. Axe and Smash.
Why didn't you call it earlier, Gorilla?
They three-peated.
Repeated.
Absolutely.
Could it be an impossible assignment to overcome the mega power of Demolition, especially when the title was at stake? It would have appeared so. Their psychological impact was now as powerful as their physical force. But two intrepid men could not believe it. They were Bret the Hitman Hart and Jim the Anvil Neidhart, the Hart Foundation. These two superstars had last held the same title on February the 2nd, 1987. And now the Pink and Black Attack had the tools and, more importantly, the confidence to believe in themselves. Demolition were taunted into defending their belts at SummerSlam 90. This time, it was a sunny August day in Philadelphia. However, a dark cloud descended on Axe, Smash, and Crush when this startling action took place.
What the hell's going on? The Legion of Doom are on their way down. And look what's happening here. A trap
The Legion of Doom have come to figure it out. The match is still in progress.
1, 2, 3.
What a match! What a match!
Ladies and gentlemen, the winner of this contest and new World Wrestling Federation Tag Team Champions, the Hart Foundation.
Although Demolition were deprived of their championship on this occasion, tag team history has an uncanny way of repetition. Many great teams are hovering on the brink of destiny, and the tag team title has proved to be a very fickle mistress. Which team will be the next to master her? Whoever they may be, the future of this exciting form of ring combat remains fraught with supersonic intensity.
Well, the current tag team champions, the Hart Foundation, are a well-balanced team, a Porsche and a tank, as they like to say. While we're on the subject of tag teams, let's take a look at our tag team match of the month as the Rockers try to derail the Orient Express. Can somebody turn up the AC?
Here comes Shawn Michaels and Marty Jannetty, the Rockers.
This tag team about to enter the ring as with a bonfire here in the World Wrestling Federation. Since their arrival, Shawn Michaels and Marty Jannetty, they're showing right here their profile and excitement. Look at this moves.
Tremendous moves there. What great synchronization. And they finished that off by completely confusing them because Shawn Michaels threw a dropkick and Marty Jannetty threw a tremendous right-hander at their opposition, Tanaka and Sato. Great, great moves. Did I say Marty Jannetty? I meant Jannetty.
Both the Rockers at times looks as though they are identical twins as far as their moves go. Thinking exactly the same thoughts during an encounter. Tanaka lights up Shawn Michaels with those blows.
The Orient Express have tremendous experience as a tag team, just as much as the Rockers. So this should really be a tremendously heated exchange between these two because they've been dying to get at each other. And we know from this country alone that the Rockers have been tremendously successful. But if you look at the record of the Orient Express, they certainly have torn the ranks of the World Wrestling Federation tag teams apart since they've been in this country.
Well, Sato attempting a little chicanery at ringside. Really paid the price. Shawn Michaels saw him coming, ducked, and then drilled him. You saw Tanaka sneaking around there in the ring. You know, Mr. Fuji has them train on rice paper, Lord Alfred Hayes.
What does he do on rice paper?
Well, he has them pull off several of their moves, and if they tear the rice paper, they are severely reprimanded to show them to be light on their feet.
I thought you was going to say they write the moves down on this rice paper and then eat it.
They train on the rice paper.
I see. I didn't know that.
Mr. Fuji's attempt to make them very graceful, very sneaky.
They're sneaky, all right. And they're very fast, too. But not fast enough to avoid that blow by Jannetty.
Tanaka should have stayed back. He can let his temper get the best of him as he tried to go after Marty Jannetty. Jannetty too quick for him, brought him over in a split second with an arm drag.
And Fuji won't like that. He doesn't like any of his men to lose their tempers. He wants them to be part of the inscrutable East And that makes them very, very dangerous indeed. If you cannot read a man's mind or his thoughts or his emotions, you're in trouble.
Now you saw a switch there. There was no tag, Lord Alfred Hayes. Danny Davis questioning. That tag in by Sato. I guess he's going to take their word, which is his first mistake.
Well, he's allowing that to stand at the moment. If that action persists, if that type of wrestling persists, I'm sure he'll do something about it. He's a very good referee, Danny Davis, very alert, always on, and in the right place at the right time.
Why couldn't Danny Davis figure out that in order to make that tag, Tanaka would have had to break that hold and go over to the corner?
Well,
and again, the same tactic.
Well, they're getting away with it so far. Once again, Danny Davis has acknowledged that they did make the tag, and certainly Shawn Michaels doesn't like that.
More double team to the back of Danny Davis, the referee. Certainly two of the most cunning superstars. And being led by that man, you know why.
There's inscrutability for you. Did you see that? No signs of any emotion whatsoever. No happiness, no sadness.
Mr. Fuji, a very big advocate of mind control. He said it is not like his superstars to... Oh! Wow!
A little confusion in the ranks there.
Marty Jannetty leapfrog as the Orient Express net inside the ring. What a collision it was. Here comes Shawn Michaels.
Good
shoulder block there by Shawn Michaels. Snaps Sato over. Was not taking enough out of the man from the Far East to end it.
I was about to say, Sean, the Rockers can pick your plans apart, and no matter how well prepared you come into the ring to do battle against the Rockers, you better really give it a lot of serious thought once you're inside, because they can change as they go along. Great improvisers, these two. They can read each other's thoughts, read each other's minds. It's uncanny the way they can do those things.
Lead in the midsection. I'm going to say it's too early to tell if Jannetty's in trouble. I think he just answered. Monkey flip. Sato sent flying across the ring. Jannetty. Oh. I'm going to say really taking control here. It went to a very dangerous area of the squared circle. And kicked right in the back of the head by Tanaka.
He didn't keep his wits about him then. He was moving so fast. He was obviously unsighted, and Tanaka made a brilliant move. You must say that, Sean.
Ooh. Chop nearly decapitated Marty Jannetty. Double kicks to the midsection.
Tremendous karate blow there delivered by Tanaka, and he's on the outside at the mercy of the Orient Express.
Mr. Fuji with a cane. Oh, really nailed Marty Jannetty with a wooden walking device, although he does not use it to aid his gait.
No, I don't think he does. He rather enhances the chances of his own team with that.
See that? Marty Jannetty didn't even give Tanaka a chance to get a 1 count. He hurled him off. It's the first legal tag we've seen in this match. They're part of the Orient Express. Kick to the side of the head.
I think you could be right there. They don't waste time making tags. They sort of skirt around those very quickly. But they are making changes, and they've been very, very intelligent changes so far. They are matching, believe it or not, the Rockers in tag team tactics.
Jannetty down again. What an exciting matchup this has been thus far.
It is what we expected, Sean. We knew that all four men... Oh, gosh, what a tremendous karate blow there. He's down.
But not out. What a pace we've had in this encounter, but I think we expected it, Alfred. Both these tag teams known for their quickness and their exceptional ring skills.
And look at this move. This could be really destructive. Oh, it is. Oh. Well, he's not going to get up from that. And we got a victory. No, we do not.
Can't count the Rockers out yet, Lord Alfred Hayes.
And look how strategically placed they are, right close to their master on the outside, Mr. Fuji.
He's certainly watching this encounter closely. Just waiting for a chance to get close enough to use that cane again.
And still the expression on his face hasn't changed. His men have controlled a lot of this match. They've showed up very, very well against the Rockers. And in fact, they've almost beaten them on several occasions. But still, the inscrutable face of Mr. Fuji, the expression has never changed.
Marty Jannetty reaching to get the tag. Oh. What a low blow that was.
He certainly roiled him. His temper is up. He's stepped out very sensibly.
Sato staying away from the other corner. Off the second rope. Really let us know what was coming.
Oh, that was a good blow. That was a blow right to the sternum. Accurate as you cannot believe. That was so good. Sato is such an accomplished wrestler. He really knows how to attack a man.
Double axe handle to the back of the neck. Marty Jannetty struggling. Cut off the air supply.
There's a lot to be said for the courage of the Rockers at this point, Sean, because they haven't been in a commanding situation, but they certainly haven't given up by any means.
The Rockers have really been smothered in this matchup. We have not seen a whole lot from Shawn Michaels and Marty Jannetty. I guess you have to give credit to the Orient Express for shutting them down. As difficult as that may be. Marty Jannetty, a great move there.
Tremendous.
Over the top, slides down.
It was a tremendous move by Jannetty.
Double clothesline. Both men out. Question is, who's going to get up?
Well, that forces the referee to count. And should one man get up, the count will stop. But if they both stay down there, then that's going to be the end of this match because it will have finished in a double count-out. And look at this, so close. Oh, my word.
Shawn Michaels has had a lot of time to think about what he wanted to do to the Orient Express. He's following his game plan here. Wow, what a backdrop. Tanaka launched into the air. Shawn Michaels after both members of the Orient Express. I'm sure if Mr. Fuji were in there, he would be getting the same treatment.
He would indeed. Shawn Michaels so clear in what he wants to do.
Great clothesline. Hooks a leg.
Great position there by Shawn Michaels. He did so well. He came in the 11th hour there, and he switched the whole complex of this match around. Tremendous stuff by Michaels.
Just an all-out brawl. Jannetty misses with an elbow. Tanaka trying to roll out. This one is out of control now, Lord Alfred Hayes.
Absolutely, there's nothing the referee can do about this. Both these men are out, even though the Rockers are getting the best of this.
They're back in the ring. The Rockers back in the ring for this. The Orient Express will not make it back in time. And Alfred, we are going to long remember this tag team encounter. Well, try as he might, the nefarious Mr. Fuji cannot always direct the outcome of a match. As you can see, things are really beginning to heat up in here. Time now to jump out of the frying pan and into the fire for this month's fan favorite match. Now, Arthur Lachter from Brooklyn, New York, wants to see the American Dream Dusty Rhodes rake Greg the Hammer Valentine over the coals. Unfortunately, we left this postcard in the back of the studio, so this is all that's left. Sorry, Arthur. parts of this. One, Lord Alfred Hayes. Both men very evenly matched, I would say.
Absolutely. And I think we're in for a long evening here with these two. Both men, as you say, very evenly matched. It should be a long war of attrition because they will both try and wear each other down. They don't necessarily go for speed moves, but they certainly are masters of their craft. Both great wrestlers in their own right. And from Greg the Hammer, we know he has that tremendously powerful crushing blow, his hammer-like blow, and we also know that Dusty Rhodes is the possessor of the bionic elbow, and once he administers that to your canister, you're in a lot of trouble.
Well, he just knocked Greg Valentine on his canister as the intimidation began, shoving back and forth. The American Dream, the one who came out on top.
Sean, I was talking about the other canister, the one at the top.
Oh.
A little difference between the English and the American vernacular there.
Mouth of the South, Jimmy Hart, launching his own verbal assault at ringside. He may not weigh too much, he may not be too big, but he is always dangerous at ringside.
He is indeed, and he must rank right at the very top of
bionic elbow there, Alfred, you mentioned. Just dropped the hammer.
Maybe this could be...
I'm sorry, he felt like he got hit with a hammer there.
Yes, maybe this could spell an early departure for Greg the Hammer Valentine, although I doubt it. He seems to have got his strength back again. He's back in the ring. And he always bears that poise of confidence.
Getting a little reassurance from his manager, the Mouth of the South, Jimmy Hart. He works very closely with all of his wrestlers in his camp. Forearms to the side of the head of Dusty Rhodes, and good angle to see that. All he did, though, I believe, is raise the ire of the American Dream, Dusty Rhodes.
Indeed he did, and look at Dusty.
Oh, chop right across the chest. That'll knock the breath out of you.
Will knock the stuffing right out of you. Absolutely right, he's got the hammer swaying on his feet. A good shot to the temple puts Valentine on his back. But we know Valentine is a possessor of incredible stamina and durability, but is very, very tense at the moment. He looks as if he hasn't settled down. He's not relaxed at all, and he's got to do something about his defense.
Well, but it hasn't taken long for this match to heat up. Dusty misses with the elbow. And with the power behind that, surprised he didn't leave a dent in the canvas.
Yes, he took far too long to administer that elbow drop. A little bit of strutting on his part, a little bit of showboating, cost him a decided miss there.
Valentine sensing the lapse of energy on Dusty Rhodes' part, capitalizes on it. And now Valentine showing the American Dream his hammer, his elbow. Right to the forehead.
There was nothing much Dusty Rhodes could do about that. He had his head dragged back by Greg the Hammer holding his hair, and he had to watch that blow being administered to him. In fact, there's a couple of big bruises on the top, on the forehead of Dusty Rhodes right now, so you can see the damage that's being wrought by Greg the Hammer Valentine.
See referee Joey Morella hanging in close there. Wants to make sure that isn't a chokehold. I was asking the American Dream who wants the bell, but I think that is a fruitless effort. We're not going to hear the American Dream tell him he gives up.
Not the common man, certainly not. He wouldn't do that. He is the American Dream. He holds everybody's hopes right there in that ring. Everybody's hopes that they're going to see Americana triumphant.
Americana is certainly represented in this crowd today. And they're all behind the American Dream, Dusty Rhodes, in this matchup. Valentine chooses which move he wanted to do there. Very vulnerable position for the American Dream. Opts for the headbutt to the midsection.
And that was a good headbutt by the Hammer there. He went to the low abdomen of the big man, Dusty Rhodes from Texas.
Oh, some brutal chops there. Valentine and Dusty back and forth. But the American Dream will outlast that Hammer. Wraps him with a big drop kick.
For such a big man, that's a devastating weapon to have, a drop kick like that, Sean.
American Dream can only take so much before he was ignited into action, and he has a short fuse.
He certainly has, and he's heated this match up tremendously with his comeback action here. What a resurgence of energy.
Drags Valentine to the center of the ring by his mane. Valentine teetering. And the chop to the chest takes him down. My, how the tables have turned in this matchup.
They have indeed. But Dusty Rhodes, the American Dream, seems to hesitate too long for my liking in some of his moves. He better watch the Hammer because he's a dangerous wrestler who can come back at you from almost any angle.
The Dream has the ability to make everybody in the arena feel like they're in the ring with him.
Yes, he does indeed.
They were helping him decide what to do with Valentine, but that hesitation may have cost him.
Yes, he couldn't seem to get that figure four leg lock on the Hammer there. He had a little difficulty sorting out which leg should go where, and it cost him dearly.
Pulls him over with a flying mare. Drives that knee into the back of the leg. Talk about a Charlie horse.
And there's the difference between these two. When the Hammer gets his man in a position, he doesn't let him go. Look at this.
Alfred, he's turned around.
He's going
That
for
shin guard that he claims to wear to protect an injured leg. I don't think there's a superstar in the World Wrestling Federation willing to buy that. Dusty rolls him up. What a great move on the part of the American Dream.
Terrific move there by Rhodes. What a great move that was, because as you rightly said, he twisted that shin guard around, and I've known every time he's done that, he's been successful.
Valentine very close to pulling off that figure four leg lock. Took some quick thinking on the part of Dusty Rhodes and some quick moving to turn it around. But Dusty Rhodes in trouble once again.
Valentine back on top again. He has control of 60% of this match so far. But I do believe that Dusty Rhodes does have a lot of energy left in reserve. And I think he's just biding his time, waiting for some mistakes on the part of the Hammer.
The pace has not let up one bit since the beginning of this match. And you can see both men sweating profusely. Counter has taken a lot out of both superstars.
Well, that's one drop. And that is a definite second.
Will this be it for Dusty Rhodes? No!
By no means.
Signifying number one. Here comes the Dream.
And here's that energy that he's kept in reserve.
No longer resembling a wrestling match. They're boxing. Fisticuffs. And Valentine down for the count.
A tremendous amount of power behind those blows delivered by Rhodes. The common man is doing his best in this common cause to beat Will Hammer. Remington.
Valentine timed that perfectly, Alfred.
He did indeed. What precision.
The one thing Valentine has done throughout this match is keep after Dusty Rhodes. He's not taking any time out to taunt the crowd or talk to Jimmy Hart. He has just kept in this match from the very beginning. Jimmy Hart attempting to go up to the top rope. Here comes Rugged Ronnie Garvin, an official here presently in the WWF. He won't stand for it. wants to see the cards fall where they may. Dusty Rhodes from behind. Throws up Greg the Hammer Valentine. Hooks a leg. And what a tremendous victory here for the American Dream, Dusty Rhodes. What a victory, Lord Alfred Hayes.
It was indeed. Dusty Rhodes hung in there very grimly, but determined to stay on top of his man. There was a time when we thought maybe he'd thrown this match away, but he didn't. He came back extremely strongly indeed.
Well, the American Dream certainly turned up the heat a few notches in that encounter to incinerate Greg the Hammer Valentine. Why don't you send us a postcard and tell us about a match that you'd like to see? We'll do our best to accommodate you. Just write to WWF Fan Favorites in care of Coliseum Video, 430 West 54th Street, New York, New York, 10019. And please send postcards only. Any more paper in here would be a fire hazard. Our WWF profile takes a look at a man who has an icy cold exterior. However, a more intimate look reveals the raging inferno of emotion inside the man who calls himself Jake the Snake Roberts.
Jake the Snake Roberts. This superstar and his Python Damien are a devastating force. On the outside, Jake appears to have a cold steel composure, but within is a blazing inferno which can explode in an instant. He is the master of the skull-crushing DDT, which he executes with immaculate precision. Let us see just how Jake deals with the monstrous Akeem.
There's certainly one superstar you could admire, Jake the Snake Roberts. If anyone else were stepping into the ring right now against the massive Akeem, say he wouldn't stand a chance. But the superstar who is opposing him is not just any wrestler. He is one of the most well-respected superstars in the World Wrestling Federation today. We're going to see why very quickly.
That was a great summing up. You're absolutely right, Sean. Anybody stepping into the ring with Akeem, other than this man, Snake, would not stand a ghost of a chance. But we know from past viewings of Jake the Snake Roberts just how deadly this man can be.
Locks up again with Akeem. So certainly Akeem has him in the weight department, but Jake just about the same height. Oof, loses there. Trying to meet Akeem in the center of the ring. Oh, almost locked down the DDT.
Oh, so close.
Jake sensed that it was so close, Alfred.
Yes, in the early part of this match, it was a difficult thing to do, but Jake nearly had him. I don't think Slick like that either, Sean.
Yeah, quick consultation there between Slick and Akeem. You never know exactly what the weight of Akeem is, Alfred. Fluctuates between 450 pounds and 470.
Yes, our big
I guess if you catch him before or after breakfast.
Yes, absolutely. Yes, it could make about a 10-pound difference or a 20-pound difference. His breakfast. I've seen him eat those enormous breakfasts myself.
You've seen his training table.
Yes. Look at that study of Slick there. Gosh.
Very slow arm drag. Oh, Jake paid the price for that. Bring Akeem over.
That must have been like a steamroller going over the top of
Yes.
it. I was going to say that our colleague Gorilla Monsoon just likes to call him the big 747.
I guess if you were going to compare wrestlers to airplanes, that would be a very good description.
Yes. He makes a lot of noise in the ring too, doesn't he?
Certainly does. It's not African either.
No, and I'm sure that if Jake had that same arm lock on me, I'd make that noise too.
Good knee connects to the jaw of Akeem. The whole building shook when he went down. Is that a camera rock there?
Yes. Everything shuddered under the impact of that. There is no refuge on the outside for Akeem either. Oh, look at Slick.
Slick distracting Jake the Snake Roberts. I think Jake would have known better than that.
Akeem wants to beat him on the inside. He wants everybody to see the way he can deal with Jake the Snake Roberts.
Slams Jake Roberts into the corner. Oh, man.
Well, he called the referee in then. I thought for one moment he was going to give up the ghost, but...
Oh, clothesline, Jake the Snake Roberts down. And flat out. I would say that there's clear evidence that Jake Roberts' neck has completely healed. If he could take those blows, and this one here, he has got to be 100%.
He really has to, but I don't see him getting up from this one so quickly.
Would anyone get up quickly from that? I don't think so. Boot on the throat of Jake Roberts.
And we're watching Akeem handle Jake the Snake the way nobody else has done.
Oh, look at this, Slick at ringside. Talk about taking advantage of a situation. Choking the Snake, unbeknownst to the referee.
And Slick certainly chose his moment then, because Snake Roberts is practically out on his feet anyway, unable to offer any resistance. All his defenses gone to pieces.
Well, Alfred, those tactics are something we've come to expect from the Doctor of Style. Always a constant threat at ringside.
Indeed he is. Have you ever seen anybody treat Jake so disdainfully? Once again, I think he's giving in.
Don't exactly know what Jake was saying to the referee there.
I thought he was bringing his attention to the fact that he wanted to submit.
Oh, no way.
Well, I don't think he wants to take much more of this kind of punishment.
I don't think Jake the Snake Roberts has that in his vocabulary, Alfred. Oh. Man, Akeem. Full speed into that corner. Took the breath right out of him. The Snake very close to locking in the DDT, but Akeem just straightened up and turned it into a backdrop. What a splash.
A devastating and possibly fatal miss there for the big man. He's missed Jake and knocked all the wind out of that huge body.
And that took a lot for Jake the Snake Roberts. That clothesline, short clothesline to drop Akeem.
And Jake sucking in as much oxygen as possible. He wants to try and make one concerted effort here. Not for his DDT.
Alfred, he almost got the DDT on again. And the interference from Slick perhaps cost him ending this encounter with a victory.
And what is Slick doing there? Oh, my word. He's probably wondering what he was doing anyway. It's a DDT on Slick.
It's Slick who's going to suffer the wrath
Oh.
of Jake Roberts as he drills him into the center of the canvas.
Oh, Slick's not going to walk around for a week after that.
And I'm sure Jake has plenty left for Akeem. He wants to come in and
He's gone
take
for
him
Damien.
on.
Surely he's not going to put Damien on Slick. Slick,
Surely
I know,
he is.
he is absolutely horrified.
Wait a minute,
of Snakes.
Akeem. If not for Akeem grabbing the leg of Slick, he was about to wear some snakeskin.
$1 Million Man, you stood up so proud and you told me, if you want that $1 million belt, Jake the Snake Roberts, you got to come and get it. And that's exactly what I did. And you know something, brother? Since I've had it, I've kept it in a safe place. Right here, man. And if you want it, you got to come and get it. But here's the thing. You got to think about something. Am I the kind of man that you trust? I mean, you could reach your hand in there, Virgil, and you might not find Damien. You might find this fella. Or it could be this Eastern Diamondback Rattler. I mean, you never know where they're going to show up, now do you? Then again, it could be Lucifer. That's Damien's big brother, and he's never been nice when he's shedding. Or it could be this Cthulhu Viper. Something to think about. Or it could be this. Or it could be this. Trust me. Come on.
Jake the Snake Roberts. Oh, listen to the ovation for Jake the Snake Roberts. A man who they said would never return to the squared circle. Boy, did he make some liars out of some very important doctors.
Well, he certainly did in his one motivating force. A chance to get the man who nearly ended his career back into the ring.
Nice shot of that little blow-up plastic snake, but we know that the real thing is inside that ominous green bag.
Well, I'm sure you could give us the breakdown of the operation. He had 2 cervical vertebrae removed.
Yeah, the transverse processes were fractured. They're the little things that come out of the side of the vertebrae, to which countless numbers of ligaments and muscles are either the point of insertion or the origin for. And he was in real bad trouble. He almost, he broke his neck. And if you do that and you, oh, look at this!
The translation of that, what took place nearly ended Jake's career.
Certainly did.
And he immediately goes to work on both Virgil and the $1 Million Man. They tried a little double team, but as we are seeing, it didn't work, and the $1 Million Man nearly became a victim of the DDT right there.
Boy, did he come out the back door in a hurry. And now he's broken the momentum completely. But Jake had it all going his way.
I think the message is clear. Jake is back, and with a vengeance.
Be interesting to see if, in fact, in this match, the $1 Million Man, Ted DiBiase, can get Jake in a compromising position and deliver a few serious type blows to that injured area, the neck, how he responds. That'll tell me whether this guy's 100% or he's 80% and 20% of guts.
You can see when he stepped into the ring, that was the first thing that Virgil went after. Tried to get a headlock around his neck. Trying to tip the scales immediately in this encounter.
Yeah, with that little cast he's got on his hand, how valid that is remains to be seen as well.
Perhaps he put his hand in the bag.
He got his hand caught in the cookie jar maybe, or the cash register. Shady looking character.
Bodyguard Virgil, always a menace at ringside.
Nice move by DiBiase as Jake walked right into a knee.
Jake, $1 Million Man, walks right into that set of blows. Boy, that got him back on his feet in a hurry. Oh, once again, just slips out of the DDT. You know, Virgil has fallen victim to the DDT, and Jake wants to make it a complete set.
Well, I'm sure if you check the career of Virgil, he's fallen victim to a lot of things, including
I'm not going to touch that.
I know.
Oh.
See, you just stand around, you're not paying attention to what's going down, and you get your cast stepped on.
Jake truly like a snake, knowing exactly where to strike. It's tough to keep your concentration when you have the threat of Virgil right there. He has to constantly keep his attention diverted.
Well, you know, he's merely a bodyguard. He's not a manager. He does not have a manager's license. What right does he have to be out there to begin with? Of course, then again, you could say, what right does Damien have to be out there? I'm sure Damien doesn't have a license either.
Well, then I guess you'd have to put Virgil in a bag. Then it'd be even.
Well, that might be, you know, tie it up so that he can't get out. That might, or handcuff him to the ring post or to the ring ropes or something. Because he's a nuisance. There's no two ways about it. Again, he went for it, and again, counter by DiBiase and out of there.
He has cost the $1 Million Man numerous encounters through a disqualification, but there have been a few times where it was probably better that he did that, because the $1 Million Man has gotten into some very tough spots.
But most of the time, he can buy his way out of them, Sean.
As he has done in several occasions.
Got more money than anyone's entitled to.
Do you happen to know what the basis of his fortune is? Did he make it in stocks
handed
or,
to him. It was handed
or
to him.
inheritance.
It
I
was
see.
inherited. Oh, look at this double noggin knocker by Jake the Snake. Now, he didn't earn it.
Not the old-fashioned way, huh?
Look at Jake going around now after Virgil hot on his trail. Hey, Virgil moving around pretty good. Good thing, too. Good thing Jake stopped because he ran out of gas.
Now, who would look at somebody like Jake the Snake Roberts and seeing the way he is moving in this match? And who would have thought that less than 5 months ago he was in traction?
Uh-oh. He's in trouble now. Look at those shots. Well, not favoring it. That's a good sign. Uh-oh. Now he is.
The $1 Million Man knows exactly where to hit Jake the Snake Roberts. Have you seen that scar on the back of his neck, Gorilla?
I sure did.
It's a pretty big target.
Well, it goes right from the external occipital protuberance right down to about the 5th cervical vertebrae.
That's exactly what I was going to say. On the back of his neck somewhere.
His hair covers most of it. But,
Yes.
But it's there, and it's a nasty one, too. It looked like maybe a plumber or something did it. Why does a guy with the kind of money that the $1 Million Man has want to even go out there and take this kind of physical abuse? He must be a sadist of some kind.
Well, it just goes to show you, after a while, it's not the money, it's the power you can have over people, and I think that's what he enjoys the most.
I guess money can't buy everything.
And the $1 Million Man has certainly found out that is true. Tried to buy the championship belt. You saw where that got him.
Well, he did buy it. Had it in his possession for 30 seconds.
Yeah.
And then the wise and talented president of the World Wrestling Federation, Jack Tunney, checked out the rule book and said, that's a no-no. Can't do that.
We also saw what happened when he tried to buy the mighty Hercules.
Oh.
But this one has, this encounter has nothing to do with money. This is pride for Jake the Snake Roberts. And Ted DiBiase.
Saying he's going to break his neck. He already did that one time. Front face lock.
Both men obsessed, Gorilla, really. Ted DiBiase has claimed he will end the career of Jake the Snake Roberts once and for all. And Jake Roberts vowing he will not rest until he has evened the score for what Ted DiBiase did to him.
So for all intents and purposes, neither one of these gentlemen is out there trying to defeat his opponent, merely to perhaps maim him.
Yes.
You know, injured conveys the point, but maimed sounds so permanent.
Yeah. And the $1 Million Man nearly accomplished that.
Oh.
With his $1 million dream.
Look at Virgil, that piece of garbage.
I think we are seeing at this point in the match that those shots to the neck are starting to take their toll.
They certainly are.
And all the rehabilitation that the Snake has done, you can't be prepared for those shots again and again.
I'm of my personal belief is that he came back too quick. You know, some people said he would never come back, and those skeptics were quickly silenced. But you know, he did come back. But I think maybe he should have taken another 6 or 8 months or a year, even for that matter. But you know, a year from now, the $1 Million Man could be into something else. Jake didn't want to take that chance.
We got an opportunity and took it. But I don't think there was a doctor who had anything to do with his case who recommended that he step back into the ring.
They all
with
said,
anyone.
They all said definitely not. Even though you are recovering, your injury is responding beyond belief, don't ever step back in there again. But that was not their decision to make. It was Jake the Snake's decision to make.
Well, this crowd is certainly behind Jake the Snake Roberts. They love seeing him back in the ring. He continues to fight. Drives $1 million man back into the corner.
We almost got X-rated there,
Yes.
Sean.
And Jake just trying to recover right now, using that drive into the corner to slow the $1 million man down, but he quickly recovers and comes off the second rope.
Nice double axe handle right into the ear. You know, Jake the Snake is taking a tremendous pounding right now, and the $1 million man may be a little bit sorry that he didn't put him away earlier on.
Jake got the boot up there.
Look at this. He's just inflicting all kinds of punishment. He had an opportunity on a number of occasions so far to slap on that $1 million dream. Didn't see fit to do so. To me, that's a cardinal mistake. Anytime I ever stepped in the ring, Sean Mooney, my main objective was to beat the man and get out of there as quick as possible. Nothing could deter me from that.
The money didn't go up the longer you stayed in there, right?
Absolutely not. You don't get paid by the minute or the hour or the quarter hour. There's a purse that's designated for this match, and the winner's share of it is 60% and the loser's share is 40%. And the object is to go home with the most money you can.
Well, I think you're right when you said before that neither one of these men is looking for a win as much as they are looking to hurt the other man seriously.
You know, but at the same time, you're giving him an opportunity to do the same thing to you. Oh, nice neck breaker by Jake the Snake, but it took its toll on both men. I think the $1 million man got the worst of it. But
well, Jake was hurting beforehand, so all it did was add to it. But he's using that,
buying some time here. He couldn't follow it up, but he's the first one to reach his feet and walk right into a boot downstairs. Look at this. I didn't think he had enough energy left to do that.
and that he used a lot of his neck to hoist the $1 million man up for that backdrop, Gorilla.
Sure did. Oh, right hand right to the jaw. DiBiase in trouble. Inverted atomic drop. I don't know where Jake's getting the strength to do these moves from. Reaching deep down inside, that adrenaline's got to be flowing now. Oh.
Slams him to the mat. And now he's talking to the $1 million man. I'd like to hear what he's saying.
I don't think we could say what he's saying, Sean. Oh, Virgil up on the apron. He got nailed for his trouble. And once again, and down he goes.
Well, Virgil, I guess he plans to earn his keep tonight.
Look out for the short clothesline. There it is. And the DDT usually follows that.
Well, both the $1 million man and Virgil are both down.
Where is Virgil? That's the question on my mind right now. As Jake the Snake gives the sign for the DDT. There he is. He's coming up. $1 million man right, but Virgil inside the ring. Look out from behind. Referee's called for the bell here. I'm sure we're going to have a disqualification, Sean.
Well, Ted DiBiase staggering around for a minute after Virgil came in. Now he's trying to distract the referee, and the $1 million man just continues to hammer away.
Right on that injured area. Come on, ref, assert yourself in there. Do something. Call for some help or something. We're such a long way from the ring here. There's not much we can do from our vantage. What's he got?
Well, the $1 million man has a few $100 bills, and now he's slapping Jake with it.
Paintbrushing him with the Ben Franklins.
Virgil
Look at Jake
made the mistake of holding on.
Look at how DiBiase doesn't know that he's loose. Perhaps some money will go flying here. Wide open, boy, you didn't expect that. And out over 360 into the concrete. Goes the $1 Million Man, and Jake right out there after him.
It's not over yet between these two, Gorilla.
Not by a long shot. Look at Burge, he's still hanging around out there. He can't even make it to his feet.
Well, I'm sure the decision is going to be a disqualification, but Virgil still inside the circle, the squared circle, and Jake is back in. And there's not anything this referee is going to be able to do to...
Referee caught in the middle there. Virge could be the recipient here of the DDT. It certainly looks that way. Yes, he nailed him with it. Forget about it, he's out. We all know what follows that.
Well, I can see Damien stirring over in the bag. I think he wants a piece of Virgil.
Damien's ready for a piece of anyone at any given time.
And the $1 Million Man is not hired to protect Virgil, and he's back in the locker room.
I think we've seen the last of him, especially once that bag gets open and that python comes out of there. I don't think you'll see the $1 Million Man anywhere around.
Well, Virgil may not even be aware of what is about to happen here.
Well, he's very lucky that he's unconscious, or he could have a heart attack here. Because Damien is indeed as dangerous as a heart attack.
The winner of this match is a result of the disqualification, Jake the Snake Roberts.
He may take a little time to warm up, but when he does, Jake the Snake Roberts burns anybody who gets in his way. In our next match, presented by the WWF Magazine, we send the Mercury soaring as Brutus the Barber Beefcake takes on a man from the tropical isle of Tonga, Haku. Feels like this studio is in the tropics or the equator. Brutus the Barber Beefcake making his way to the ring. Big favorite here. If you can just tell by the cheering from this crowd. As we get set here for, I would consider one of the hottest matches, but we will certainly see how it develops.
Well, the heat is going to be here, that's for sure. When these two clash against each other, and you've got that manager, well, I don't want to say that. I'm not going to say the reason.
The Brain?
The Brain, yes. Bobby
Since we are
Heenan.
complimenting everybody
Yes,
today.
absolutely. And this is a clash that is very, very predominant in everybody's mind.
Well, for Brutus the Barber Beefcake always sizes up his opponents not only for their wrestling skill, but just what kind of cut he would like to give them. So what do you think he's got in mind for Haku if things were to go his way?
I don't know. I would say it would be very favorable towards Bobby Heenan himself. He's made himself a very, very rich man out of his family. But then again, he's given a lot to them. This man, for example, Haku.
A lot of trouble. That's what he's given them.
Haku has the skills, but he's instilled into him a tremendous killer spirit that has made him a terribly successful wrestler. Look at that big gold and diamond bracelet on Bobby Heenan's wrist there. How much do you think that would have cost? And who would have paid for that?
Well, perhaps the $1 Million Man, Ted DiBiase. They are close.
Yes.
Bobby Heenan has accredited him to be one of his benefactors.
Yes, he just gave Haku a little pep talk there, told him he's bigger, stronger, much more clever, and also, I would imagine, a lot more desperate to win this match for the Heenan family.
The last-minute instructions, we will see if they're going to work to the advantage of Haku. One thing about Bobby Heenan, he loves to start wars, and he uses his family members to fight them.
Yes, probably, you're right there. And we know
Do you
that...
think this was one of the instructions? Go after him when he's not looking?
Yes, I think so, because he knows that Brutus is a hot-tempered person with a short fuse. So if you can do that and upset your adversary right from the off, you'll have him off balance.
Well, the spark has been lit in this, one of the hottest matches of the World Wrestling Federation. I think certainly could be included. But we'll see.
Yes, and look at this, Haku's taken over right from the beginning, but Brutus comes right back at him.
Oh. Connects with a knee. Right to the jaw of Haku. You know that must have really been on target to rattle massive Haku. Knee to the chest, takes him down.
Time for a little conference on the outside. Haku started off so well, so strong, so really hot against Brutus the Barber Beefcake, but then Beefcake turned the tables, and look at Beefcake now, he's after him again.
Now we couldn't see Brutus coming out of the ring, but the way Bobby Heenan ran off, we think we knew immediately what was going on. Ooh, Haku. Face first on the apron there.
Well, I don't think I've seen Haku take so much punishment so early on in a match. In fact, Brutus is treating him with almost disdain.
We've mentioned before, Alfred, how the athletes in the World Wrestling Federation are not only gifted wrestlers, they also have the ability to do a lot of other things. And certainly Brutus, very gifted stylist. I know you've had a few trims by the barber.
His tonsorial artistry. Is that what you're talking about?
What is he, a dentist?
No, his hair cutting.
Ears, nose, and throat doctor? Said tonsils.
No, you don't have to look up tonsorial, I believe. I don't think much of his hair cutting, but I really think a lot about his wrestling ability inside the ring.
I want to say, mention Haku's martial arts abilities. We just saw his ability to pull off the questionable tactic. I guess he didn't eat before this matchup. Brutus the Barber Beefcake snapped off the top rope. That'll make you a little hoarse.
Yes, it would indeed, but look at Haku. His second wind has come to him now. He's found a new resurgence of energy and strength, and Heenan, his manager, really likes that situation.
He likes what he was seeing there. As Haku smothers Brutus the Barber Beefcake. Brings him once again to his feet. Casually hoists him up. Oh, man.
What a shoulder breaker that was by Haku. Danny Davis, our referee, very quick to count. Sharp, alert as always, right on the ball, but Brutus managed to get that shoulder up.
Puts the knee between the shoulder blades and uses the forearms to leverage back the head of Brutus the Barber Beefcake. Oh, that must make you feel like you're on a rack.
I would imagine that is the same sensation. What a horrible feeling that must be for Brutus, but he's a game wrestler indeed. He's sticking in there. He has a lot of courage and a lot of tenacity.
But how does he break free from a hold like that? He's helpless.
Well, I think he's, well, I don't know so much. Look at that tremendous arm strength.
Look at this. Haku, well known for his upper body strength. Brutus powers himself free. But that was short-lived glory.
It was indeed. And Haku, you've got to take your hat off to him. He's really controlled this part of the match. He's dominating it, showing a lot of authority here. And Brutus struggling hard at the moment. Even so, sticking in there.
Well, but we are certainly seeing a lot of action in this exclusive Coliseum matchup. Everything we expected and more.
Well, we knew this was going to be a hot match, and that's the way it's turned out.
Haku really taking it to the throat area of Brutus the Barber Beefcake. Paralyzing area of the body.
That is a most damaging blow.
You have a difficult time breathing. You cannot do anything.
Right into the Adam's apple, and that forces it back into your throat, and you're trying to suck wind into your body. That's a very, very damaging blow by Haku.
You saw Bobby Heenan sneaking over. Maybe slithering is a better word.
He was definitely sneaking there, but Danny Davis, as I said, alert as always, is soon onto that. Boy.
Brutus fights back. Really going after Haku. Before Haku resorts to a rake. Heenan reaching into his pocket. I don't think he's looking for a stick of gum.
I thought it might have been a cigarette or something, probably smoke.
Can't do that inside Alfred.
Whoa, what a miss! Oh, gosh! Brutus is so quick at times.
Brings Haku up. Body slam. And again, just to make him remember. And the third time's a charm. Is this it for Haku? Brutus hesitates. Gotta stay after Haku once he gets him in a position like that, Alfred.
You're right, he's got to stay on top of him, and he's trying that. And Haku nearly averted disaster there.
Brutus attempting the backdrop, but fell short. Haku kept his body weight back. But he couldn't get away from that suplex. Brutus hooks a leg. This could be it for Haku. No.
He reached over, but he couldn't pull that right leg up in time. And now he's signaling to put his sleeper on him.
Well, Haku was in trouble there. Brutus the Barber Beefcake. His patented move. The sleeper hold. Bobby Heenan can't stand to watch it. Gets to come in, and now he is the one who's locked up in that devastating hold. Haku clearly shaken. Now both Heenan and Haku in the ring. Brutus narrowly escapes out, rolls to the arena area.
Well, the referee called for the bell
heading back
there,
to the
Sean.
locker room.
What is the result of this match? He
Well,
called for the bell.
I'm sure it's going to be some interference. Let's get the official
By
word.
way of disqualification, Brutus the Barber Beefcake.
Alfred, do you think it was a wise move on the part of Bobby Heenan?
No, it
getting
backfired
involved?
on him.
Yeah, but Haku could have been put out with a sleeper hold if he had it.
Well, in that case, I'll have to go along with that then. It was obviously a very wise move, because it's not a clean-cut victory when you're disqualified.
Is this noticeable? Seems that Brutus put a little too much heat on Haku. The man from Tonga eventually wilted. I thought I heard him say it wasn't the heat, it was the humidity. Well, as you can tell, things are not only getting hotter and hotter in the ring, they're really getting hot right here in the studio. And this next feature will do nothing to cool it down. Here's the sensational Queen Sherri in our WWF Manager Profile.
Yeah! Coliseum video! So you want to do a profile on the managers? Well, I'm not just a manager. I am sensational Queen Sherri. And you remember one thing. I am the queen of the Macho King Randy Savage Kingdom. And there is nothing and no one that can take care of that responsibility like I can. It doesn't matter where we go. Doesn't matter what he does. He gets on an airplane. This man gets first-class tickets. This man eats food. The queen tastes it so that nothing happens to that heavenly body. And one more thing. When he is at ringside, I make sure proper homage is bestowed upon him and proper respect. Proper respect is always given to the king. There's nobody, and I'm talking nobody, and nothing anybody can do to take that crown away from Macho King Randy Savage. And another thing, all the clothes he wears, every time his boots get shined, every time that hair is combed, every time that body is tanned, I am the one responsible for it. I'm not a mere manager. I'm a woman. And you can call me Queen of Mean. You can call me somebody that's sadistic. You can call me somebody that screeches to the top of her lungs. But I'll tell you one thing, regardless of whether you like it or not, you got your profile on Sensational Queen Sherri. And there's nothing anybody is gonna say to change that fact. Macho King Randy Savage is the #1 man. in the World Wrestling Federation, and he will be champion.
Red hot to the core and always spitting fire, the sensational Queen Sherri. Although he refers to himself as a tag team specialist, Shawn Michaels occasionally takes on some singles competition to keep all of his wrestling senses razor sharp. This next encounter, our match of the month, pits this single rocker against the seasoned ring veteran Ted DiBiase in a match of such nonstop searing action that it could well be called the match of the year.
This is a most unusual match because I, for one, have never seen either of the Rockers in a single one-on-one match, and I just cannot wait to see how Shawn Michaels will fare without knowing, well, with knowing, of course, that his partner's not going to be able to come into the ring at essential times.
Shawn Michaels, in my book, Your Lordship, is a consummate professional. Can do it in singles or in tag team competition. Of course, much more effective as a team as one half of the Rockers, but he'll give anybody a run for the money in singles competition.
Well, he certainly has all the talents. Already he's looking around. He cannot allow that to happen too much because the $1 Million Man will be on him. He'll pounce on him like a tiger if he finds his opponent's attention is being diverted.
Beautiful arm drags executed by Ted DiBiase, the $1 Million Man.
Another thing, Gorilla, is how do you pace yourself for a singles one-on-one match when all the time in tag team matches you know you can tag in your partner and have that respite on the outside?
Well, in a lot of cases that would be a very valid question, Your Lordship, but in the case of Shawn Michaels, I don't think pacing is a problem at all. He's in excellent condition. If this match were to need be to go an hour, I'm sure he'd still be out there. As well as that man right there.
Yes, both of them have that ability. They have tremendous staying power, great endurance qualities have been displayed by both men, but I would say that the odds here definitely swing very, very heavily in favor of the $1 Million Man, Ted DiBiase.
Well, if anybody were to run out of gas in this match, it's liable to be the referee, Joe Morella. Look out. Over the top goes the $1 Million Man. Nice leapfrog and a drop kick right in the bush. A beauty. And another one. And DiBiase's down. Hip lock. And an arm drag of his own. Well, I guess that'll answer your question, Elijah.
Yes, it does. In a very, very affirmative way, too. What a beautiful series of moves they were by Shawn Michaels. They were really breathtaking, and it brought everybody here in San Antonio to their feet.
And he never tagged one time.
No. Or should I say San Antonio to their feet?
San Antonio. You can use either one, you know.
Okay,
either one's acceptable here.
They were really super, super moves by Shawn Michaels, and we saw a little while ago the $1 Million Man conversing with Virgil. I don't know what advice Virgil could give him, do you?
Advice Virgil could give? Highly unlikely. None. Zero. Virgil's probably telling him to stay away from the hot burritos or something. Nice arm wringer by the $1 Million Man. Turns it into an arm bar. Trying to maintain control of this speedy youngster. Shawn didn't want any part of that. Another beautiful hip lock. And they're followed by an arm drag. Side headlock takes him over and he's in control. Oh, look at the tights.
Once again, immaculate moves there by Shawn Michaels, but, you know, it leads me to think that when you execute moves that fast, that rapid, you are prone to make maybe the tiniest of errors, a small mistake somewhere, and then $1 Million Man will pounce on you, and he'll take advantage of that so quickly.
Can't make any kind of mistakes with the $1 Million Man, whether they be big or small, because the match will be over in a hurry. And nobody wants to go home with the short end of this purse money. They're jam-packed here in San Antonio, Texas, for this WWF event. Now, Joe Morella, that is not what you do. You do not push the wrestlers over. You break the hold.
There is no excuse for that. Even though DiBiase did have a handful of trunks, and Joe Morella was not going to count under those circumstances.
But that's what you do. You count.
He certainly should not have pushed.
DiBiase down, Michaels over the top quickly. Oh, reversed it again. Into another nice hip lock. He did it again.
Well, he saw him handling those trunks. He should tell him or make him break. Well, he can't make him break the hold because Michaels has the upper hand there. So I don't know what you do under those circumstances. You certainly don't touch the wrestlers.
No, definitely not.
Because you do leave it open then for them to retaliate.
Absolutely.
And we know from our own experiences that tempers run very, very short inside the ring. And sometimes you're apt to look for the weakest one and belt them first.
Boy, I remember when you were wrestling, your lordship, that was one of your fortes, if I remember correctly. You had a very short fuse.
Yes, I did.
Literally and figuratively. Look out. Don't put your, oh, big mistake. You can't put your hands up in the air in the corner there with DiBiase standing in front of you. You're just opening the door for him.
Now here's a test coming up now, Gorilla. Now that Shawn Michaels, well, as soon as I speak, it looks as if he's doing okay
counter
again.
For counter and a beauty and another drop kick by Michaels. And right back to control with a side headlock.
Great wrestling by Michaels. Really is tremendous wrestling. What I was going to say was if DiBiase had gotten on top and had started to put his authority on this match, then we would have seen what Michaels was going to do. Was he going to look round for some sort of solace from his partner or some rescue and then get himself in even deeper water? But it hasn't happened that way yet.
Well, I'm afraid the pendulum is going to swing a number of times in this one before it's over. It's already swung twice. But I've got a feeling that the $1 Million Man has got a lot of things up his sleeve, or in his tights for that matter.
Yes.
That he's going to be using here to put the stoppers on this youngster, this high flyer. Oh, let's see that time now. He didn't just throw his hands up in the air, sort of covered up a little bit.
Yes.
He learned something.
He certainly did, and he learned the hard way, and usually that's the best way to do it.
Oh, wow. Split second, beautiful timing by the $1 Million Man, and caught him right in the kisser with that size 12.
What a great, great wrestler the $1 Million Man is. He's world class. He's World Wrestling Federation class.
Yes, he
well.
is. Got a big feud going right now with the Big Boss Man.
Yes, he has indeed.
A lot of scores to be settled there.
And I still maintain this, and I know that you disagree with me, Gorilla, but I think that Ted DiBiase has some very, very valid points in that confrontation that he has going with the Big Boss Man.
Well, what is it you think I disagree with, your lordship?
Well, I think you think that he put the belt up and anybody who could take it could take it. Whereas I was under the...
Oh, what a shot, 360 in midair from that clothesline.
Oh, gosh.
Could be all over here. Oh, snuck out the back door on a count of 2.
And Ted DiBiase, when he said that, what he meant was you come and wrestle him. If you beat him wrestling, then you could have taken his $1 million belt.
But that's not what he said.
Not exactly. But even so, I maintain that...
So you are, in fact, still condoning the sneaking around underneath the ring that was done at WrestleMania 6 by the $1 Million Man to sucker punch the Big Boss Man? You condone that?
I wasn't watching that
so.
specifically.
Oh. Everyone was watching that. Where were you?
Well, I was watching it, yes, but you're trying to pin me down, aren't you?
Yes, I am. Oh, another 2 count, and once again, out the back door slips Shawn. Virgil saying something to the referee. Virgil, just a paid stooge in my book, you know.
Yeah, he's...
a gopher.
He has
go
his...
for coffee, go for donuts.
He has his moments, he certainly has his uses, and he has been a sort of catalyst in many of the victories obtained by the $1 Million Man.
Wash the $1 Million Man's back in the shower, things like that. Make sure his boots are shined up. That's all he does. He doesn't give him any guidance whatsoever or figure out any game plans. Look at Shawn coming out of this. Oh, nice move in midair. Couldn't hold the big guy down, though. Just a glancing blow there by DiBiase, and now going to work on that subscapularis area.
Yes, that was a glancing blow. It was almost a miss, in fact, by DiBiase. I wonder if Something's upset his balance. It doesn't seem to.
See, now, if I have a guy in trouble inside the ring, Your Lordship, I don't throw him outside. If I got him in trouble, I'm going to keep him there, keep him inside, and try to beat him.
Well, would it be that DiBiase is trying to... Well, there you are, you see. Here's a tactical maneuver on the part of Virgil and DiBiase. That is why Shawn Michaels is at such a loss in this match, because DiBiase is used to those type tactics that he just pulled there on Shawn Michaels.
Look at Marty. He's not about to sit around and watch. He's right up on that apron, sticking the finger in the $1 Million Man's face. In the meantime, his partner got clotheslined on that steel barricade. Referee better take charge here. Suplex from the outside, and a beauty. Shawn in a whole heap of trouble.
I think he's got him covered now.
But look, oh, he finally does hook the leg, but youngster kicks out anyway. DiBiase's got to be getting a little frustrated.
Well, that was a very gritty move there on the part of Shawn Michaels. He kicked out of that, but there was also a little complacency being shown there by the $1 Million Man. Don't you agree?
Well, he did reach back and take the leg, but it was very nonchalantly. Look at Virgil. He's saying, come on, guy. Get this thing over with here. I got important things to do, like shine those boots up and get the car cleaned out, take out the trash.
We had an excellent shot by our cameraman then. It was almost as if he was in the ring himself, in that predicament that Shawn Michaels finds himself in, looking at his partner. What great photography.
All put together by our award-winning director.
Would that be Kevin Granith?
No, that's not Kevin Granith.
Oh,
no.
Is that Kerwin Silvers?
That's correct. Oh, turned it into a nice backdrop. Marty screaming out encouragement and possibly instructions.
Now, I think this is where Shawn Michaels is lacking. You see, he has no partner to tag in the ring, and he's looking for him. He's missing that assurance.
Oh, double clothesline. I think Shawn got the worst of that, got the short end of the stick on that one. He came down on the back of his head, and the $1 Million Man came down face first. But let's see what youth has to do with it.
Well, if you looked at the outside there and you saw the easy look of confidence on the face of Virgil, you would assume that he knows his man is in control of this. Whereas if you looked at the face of Shawn Michaels' partner, Marty Jannetty, you would have thought he is in a lot of trouble. Shawn
Backdrop
Michaels.
elbow coming up. Oh, he waited too long. He waited too long, and the chicken coop was empty.
And what a devastating miss that was. This could be the break that Shawn Michaels wanted. And he's really got the $1 Million Man going now.
Inverted atomic drop has set it up once again. Oh, look at begging off. Very seldom will you see the $1 Million Man do that. There's no timeout here. Irish whip.
And you were right from the off here, Gorilla. Shawn Michaels is showing tremendous durability, great stamina, and he's come back really with a vengeance in this particular...
Another beautiful drop kick. Excuse me, Your Lordship.
I was going to say, in this phase of the match, I nearly had him there.
Close only counts in horseshoes and hand grenades, as Mean Gene would say. Oh, look at this, neck breaker! How often do you see the $1 Million Man make a mistake like that and put his head down? Virgil almost got kicked in the mouth there.
Taking an awful lot of time, though.
Well, he'd have been up there a lot quicker if the bodyguard, the stooge, hadn't been away. Beautiful high cross body! 2.5 counts. Oh, look at, did you see that? That snake, that slithering from the outside, hooked the leg, and look at Marty right on his case. Well, that was uncalled for.
I was so caught up with the chase there of Virgil that I didn't realize Jannetty was in the ring, but certainly the $1 Million Man did, and he took full advantage of that. He did, indeed.
And then threw him out like yesterday's garbage.
Yes. which speaks well for the $1 Million Man. He's certainly alert and aware. He's not as stunned as maybe we thought he was. Good timing. Tremendous timing on that clothesline.
Why isn't he looking to wrap it up, your lordship, instead of looking for some kind of accolades from this crowd?
Well, I think he's beginning to enjoy himself now, the $1 Million Man.
Marty's up there complaining to the referee about something.
I think the $1 Million Man is having a good time in the ring now.
Oh, look at all four of them in there now. The bell is rung. Well, the referee lost control of this one, so he decided to ring the bell. I don't blame him.
Well, I believe the Rockers have been disqualified. Marty Jannetty came in there to rescue his man, Shawn Michaels, and I don't think it's paid off.
But that Virgil was in there, too.
Well, I think he came in after. You know, you cannot treat this as a tag team. These fellows have got to learn that this is serious competition.
Double drop kick and the $1 Million Man out of there. Where's Virgil? There he is. Boy, is he getting clobbered.
Oh, he is. Look at the Rockers. They do these moves so well together.
Up. $1 Million Man. Oh, there he is. Whoa. That'll make you sing a little higher in the shower. What a matchup this was. We don't know exactly what the result is yet. A disqualification, maybe a double disqualification. Well, let's stop conjuring on it and find out.
Ladies and gentlemen, the referee's official decision, he has counted both men out. Both men have been counted out.
Counted out? Everybody was in the ring.
I can't see how that could have been.
Everyone was in the ring.
Have been disqualified. Double disqualification.
Double disqualification. That's more like it.
That one permanently disabled the studio's thermostat. It's useless to try and cool off now. After all this action, you should certainly be warmed up enough for our next feature. We took two of the best conditioned athletes in the WWF, put them in a gym, and told them to give our Coliseum faithful the workout of their lives. I hope you're ready to reach for the power and the glory.
Well, you know, Gloria, I guess everybody that watches Coliseum video out there wants to see how a couple of real superstars in the WWF work out, man.
You think we should show them?
Well, maybe we ought to give them just a little bit, just a taste. But maybe we ought to warn them right off the bat. This isn't for the puny. This isn't for the weak. This is our temple. This is where we come to get strong. This is where the power and the glory lives, in this steel jungle. And the steel jungle, brother, is going to devour you if you can't handle it. So I'm warning you right now. What's the first thing we got to do?
I think we should let them step inside and see what this is all about. Come on with us.
Come on.
Yeah. Come on, Power. Yeah. That's it. That's it. That's it. That's it. You know, people, we like to get in about 15 reps, maybe more. We don't care. It's just whatever it takes. That's what we're gonna do. Come on, Power, that away.
So that blood starts pumping.
That's
that
right.
muscle starts stretching. You can hear that skin begin to rip. That's why I like it. How about you?
Oh, you know, this is what power is all about, people.
Yes.
It's like when Hercules ripped down the pillars in Rome. That's right. Doesn't it feel good? That's right.
Maybe I'll do 70.
Do 70. Go on. Go for 100.
I don't know.
Yeah, just keep going.
Yeah.
It's like when he grabs those lightning bolts out of the sky. You can see the electricity blow through his body. This is what it's all about. Beautiful, beautiful. Look at that.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
That's what it is.
That's what it's all about. That's it, baby. That's what power's all about.
Keep going, Glory. Come on, man. How many is that?
Yeah.
How many?
That's 96.
God, I can't believe it. Look at him go. Look, just look at the glory. To achieve total strength and to be truly, truly strong, you must also have the power of mind. You must be able to go beyond. Take your body further than it has ever gone before. Because if you do that each and every day, like my partner here, he's going beyond. No man's been where this man has ever been. I'm Glory.
That's right. You know, that's what it's all about. If you want to achieve total greatness, you want to be the best, you want to be better than everybody else. And that's what you have
like
to
the
do.
Statue of David in Rome. People come from all over the world to see a man with a body like this. Revel in his glory. Look at him.
Look, because this is what it's all about. You know, people, we're gonna show you how to work the bicep muscle this time, but never, never expect to achieve the greatness, the size, and the strength of my partner, Power. Now you come on in and let me show you what it's all about. That's it, Power. That's it. Look at the size of this man's arm. Take a good look. Look at the strength that he harnesses in that arm and throughout his body. And the greatness, well, you all know about the greatness of this man, yes. That's it. That's it. Don't stop. Don't stop. You gotta go beyond, Power. You gotta go beyond. How'd that feel? Let me see it. Let me see it. Look at the size of that thing. It's gotta be at least, what, 23, 24 maybe? That's it. Look at that big thing. It's like somebody's leg, Power. It's like someone's little man.
Look at the size of those arms, Power.
You're exploding.
Oh, man.
Oh, you're exploding. We gotta get bigger.
Oh,
Bigger.
Yeah.
And bigger.
Oh, yeah.
So I'm gonna train harder every single day.
That's
the last thing we do before we go to bed at night, we know what we're gonna train the very next day.
That's right.
And there's a man inside my mind that I know I wanna be, and I'm gonna be bigger than that. That's right. Anybody ever was. What about you, Glory?
Oh, you know, you said it all for me right there. You know that, Power. That's right. You know, we go to bed at night, we think of trying to explode out of our body, trying to rip through our skin. You know, we don't want to be like anybody else because we're different from everybody else. That's what it's all about. Being the biggest, the baddest, and the best. And that's what we get right here. That's right.
If you're gonna go on the hunt, you gotta run with the big dogs.
That's right.
You gotta be able to hang. You gotta be able to train. You gotta be able to bang. You gotta be able to do it all.
Yeah. And we can do it all. That's why everybody else bows down to us. They kneel to us because we are the power and we are the glory.
Yes.
And that's what it's all about. What do you think, baby? Is this it? Is this life? This is it. That's right.
Now that's a real superstar's back. That's a back you can be proud of. He's big, he's wide, he's massive, he's ripped. You know why? Because he does it every single day. Maximum strength requires maximum reps, maximum weight all the time.
You know, Power, I'm tired of working for these people.
That's right, I know you are. Now it's your turn. Get up off those couches, get down to your local gym. It's time to do some work, and maybe someday you might be like the power and the glory.
But I doubt it.
That's right.
Well, now you know how the WWF superstars stay in such great shape. I hope none of you hurt yourselves. Maybe a glass of lemonade would help. I feel dehydrated. Well, now we turn the burners up to the limit. Dusty Rhodes and Sweet Sapphire have the burning desire to put away the Macho King and his sensational Queen Sherry. But there is the added twist of each team having the special guest in their corner. Let's crank up the heat.
Ladies and gentlemen, at this time, I'd like to introduce to you a man who is the star of his own television show, a man who spreads love wherever he goes. Here is Brother Love.
Hello, everyone. I'm Gorilla Monsoon, along with Bobby the Brain Heenan, exclusively here for Coliseum Home Video. This is WWF's hottest matches. Unfortunately, we have to put up with this.
Well, this man spreads it wherever he goes.
Oh, he sure does. Thick, too.
I mean love.
Yeah, heavy.
What tranquil music. Makes you want to lay back and think about all the beautiful things
Makes
in
you
life.
want to barf. Look at the grin. How sincere that is.
You've noticed that too.
Yeah.
I'll tell you, when I've gotten down and depressed, I've talked to Brother Love, and he's given me a whole new outlook on life. He keeps you going.
Oh, yeah. He's only happy when he's got his hand in somebody else's pocket.
I love you.
You know why his face is red all the time? almost
brothers
lying.
and sisters, the moment that you have all been waiting for. Likes his jewelry. And I think it only appropriate that each and every one of you rise to your feet and bow in servitude to the Macho King, Randy
You tell me they're going to allow this misfit to stay out there while this match is going on? This dredge of society?
You're talking about brother love like that? You're going to let him know how you feel.
I hope you do.
He's not going to like it.
Too bad.
But you can't make him mad. He has so much love oozing through his veins. You can't make him mad.
That stuff oozing, all right.
He just has an air about himself.
Stinks. Making his way down now, the Macho King, Randy Savage, accompanied by Sensational Queen.
Oh, she's my fold-out, my pin-up girl.
You better see her outfit.
Gorgeous. Sometimes she wears a little bit too much lace.
Who does her makeup? Dracula?
She's expressing herself.
Certainly is.
Look at Savage, always a new outfit, always something new. Okay, sharp.
Former World Wrestling Federation champion, former Intercontinental champion.
King of the World Wrestling Federation.
The guy has greatness.
Oh.
He'll need every bit of it here tonight.
You know, when he had that World Wrestling Federation championship, I didn't like him. And I put all my men up against him, but I'll tell you something, he gained my respect.
He kissed his hand.
She's got eyes for Brother Love. Look at, there's something there. Sparks are flying.
She's got eyes for everything that wears a pair of pants. Here he comes. They're coming back.
Here's something you won't see on Love Connection.
And look at Elizabeth. I guess she's going to stay out at ringside as well, Brain, and sort of counteract Brother Love.
Well, when everybody talks about Elizabeth and her beauty and how attractive and glamorous this woman is, you must admit she's going to look a little bit like Minnie Pearl next to sweet, sensational Sherry.
Are you kidding?
I think she's cute.
You should
in a gaudy kind of way.
The two of them in the same breath.
Look at that gaudy dress she has on. And Sapphire, what can you say?
Look at that. That's beauty right there.
Like I said, in a kind of a cheap kind of way. I mean, like, yeah, her clothes isn't that expensive. Gaudy looking, you know? People don't wear ribbons anymore.
Gone. This feature attraction is underway.
You wear ribbons in your hair if you're in the 3rd grade.
Get that red-faced slob off the apron.
This should be an interesting matchup.
Referee's gonna have one heck of a time controlling this one.
Now, let me get this straight. This is a tag match?
That's correct.
Brother Love's ready to get in there.
Well, he doesn't belong in there. It's not a 6-man tag.
One referee is not going to be able to control this. You know Savage's temper, and you know how the American Dream responds to that. And you know Sensational Sherry, the Queen, cannot be stopped. Elizabeth's out of her league.
You think so, huh?
Ooh, yeah!
Boy, what an intelligent statement that was.
Oh, he was just letting the American Dream know that he's ready.
Before I get to you tonight, I'm gonna whip that red-faced pumpkin's ass right here in Huntington.
Oh, you heard it.
class guy. They better hold Brother Love back. You know, it's always the ones that are passive and really nice guys that when they snap, they can't be controlled.
Really nice guys.
He's a real nice guy.
Please.
He's a gentleman.
He's a jerk. A liar and a thief.
Well, Sapphire's not the crust of society, but I don't know if she's a liar and a thief.
Not talking about Sapphire. Listen to Brother Love. They ain't gonna be doing any wiping as the lovely Elizabeth looks on.
Don't worry, Elizabeth. Your makeup's in place. Your lipstick's all there. Your earrings are on. On a scale of 1 to 10, what would you rate Elizabeth?
I beg your pardon?
On a scale of 1 to 10.
1 to 10?
Yeah.
A 10.
There are no 10s. There's only one 10. That's Mr. Perfect.
Please. Oh, look at that!
What would you rate Sapphire?
A -3.
We agree on something.
You talking about beauty now or ability?
Whoa!
What kind of wrestling getup is that for the Queen?
It's no worse than the polka dots and those track shoes or whatever that.
Well, at least she's comfortable.
Well, the Queen's comfortable.
Look out! Ah! Ducked right out of the way.
I think she wants to show you that even in a dress, she doesn't have to put on wrestling trunks or tights to beat Sapphire.
Well, that remains to be seen, Brian. Showing an awful lot of leg, don't you think?
I like to see a lot of leg.
Yeah, I'm sure you do. I told you the referee was going to have problems here.
He's not going to be able to control this.
The Dream comes in and busts things up. Oh!
What is wrong with him?
We just went X-rated here. What kind of a... Did you see the straps and the leather? She's into some heavy stuff, boy.
Like she's wearing a parachute.
Nice takeover by Sapphire. Makes the tag, and the Dream is in there. And look at the Queen. She wants out of there. It's your turn, Savage. Let's see how macho you are now, King. Those two lovebirds.
Has Savage put his hands on Sapphire yet? But Dusty just about ripped the dress off of Sherry. Go get her.
Going after Elizabeth.
Slap her around a bit. She'd do it to you. After Savage made her famous.
Made her famous?
Yes. Typical woman. Just used him.
All reversal of the Irish whip and an elbow by the Dream. And another one.
She just used Savage, Elizabeth did, to further her own career.
She led him to the title.
Are you kidding? Like I've said, if she wants to manage, let her stay in the dressing room and fold socks and towels where a woman belongs.
Look at Brother Love. He hasn't done a thing yet. He's sweating like a pig. The pig that he is. Oh, look at this.
Well, you didn't see what I saw. Dusty went for him on the floor and tried to tear his knee out, so he's just kicking to get away free.
Well, we must be watching two different matches here.
I have my own monitor over here.
The Macho King in control. Look out. This is where he's at his most dangerous. Perched high above. Oh, nailed him. It's not over.
Had the referee been in position to count, it would have been over.
How can a referee be in position?
Sherry's going up on top. What confidence to take a match like this in a gown, not wearing wrestling attire, shows you the confidence she has in her ability. Brother Love and Savage.
She's sick.
Well, she might be a little bent and twisted, but that's what makes her
She needs
so intriguing.
psychiatric help.
That's what makes her charming.
Yeah.
There is rumor now that Lady Di wants her makeup put on just like Sherry.
Oh, please, will you stop? What are they screaming about? What are they hollering about?
They want the ref to ring the bell. He's out.
The Dream's not out.
Savage put him to sleep. He
Check
is out.
his arms, ref. That's it. Concern on the face of Elizabeth.
You know why she's concerned? The American Dream is her ride home.
That arm didn't go down. The Dream saying no, it's not over by a long shot.
He's got something left. He's on his feet. 1, 2.
Jam-packed here to the rafters for this one. Savage going up again. Oh, one too many times to the well, and he got caught in midair.
Foot's on the rope.
Yeah. Boy, what a familiar move that is. How many times have I seen you do that, Brain?
Put my foot on the ropes?
No, reach in there and help one of your members.
He was going to put his foot on the rope anyway. His foot just went into Brother Love's hand.
Sure.
Come on, Savage, stay on.
It's become a boxing match now. Oh, thumb right in the eye. Oh, Plain Possum. And the Dream's got his hands on Brother Love. Give him a shot for me, will you? Look out. Oh, what a knee to the chest.
I don't understand. Now Savage and Brother Love are into it. Come on, guys, regroup.
Give it to him, King.
This is what Dusty wants you to do.
He's crying. Brother Love is crying.
Oh, his feelings are hurt.
He's afraid of what Sensational Queen is going to do to him when she gets up. Oh, there's a sleeper by the Dream.
Now he goes for it.
To the applause of Elizabeth.
Savage has too much power in his neck. You're not going to be able to put him to sleep that easy.
Look at Brother Love, got his hands all over the Queen.
Where's Brother Love going now? He's going up top.
Oh, boy.
He's got a purse, Sherry's purse.
Oh! Nailed the Dream with it right on the back of the head.
You know, there's been a lot of speculation that there's something inside that purse.
No kidding.
Like a bar of lead.
Yeah.
Look at the Dream. He looks like he just had about 36, what do you call those?
Pina coladas.
No, one star long necks and a pizza. He's out.
Referee counting both men here. As soon as one of them gets to his feet, this count will stop.
Savage
That's a legal cover right there.
Why? He's stopping the man. He's on top of the man.
I said it was a legal cover.
I thought you said illegal. Ladies and gentlemen, I have to do everything here. Referee just bealed himself. What's going
Dream
on
made
there?
a tag to Sapphire. Oh, look at this.
You got Sherry up.
Airplane spin. Fireman's carry.
First 7 rows are getting a good shot.
Wow, boy. 1, 2, no. Macho King had to come in there and do his thing, or this one would have been over.
I'm surprised Sapphire knows a hold.
Brother Love just threw the purse in again.
Put it right in the gabanza.
Who's gonna get it? Oh! Macho King just nailed Brother Love.
We need another referee down here
And
right
that
now.
purse is just laying there in the middle. Uh-oh.
Waffle her, Sherry, waffle her. What's Elizabeth doing?
Elizabeth comes in and nails her.
That's it. She's out.
She's out cold. Sapphire for the cover.
She didn't move.
It's over.
What a low-down cheap shot.
What a match.
Sherry still hasn't moved.
Here are your winners, Sweet Sapphire and the American Dream, Dusty Rhodes.
Sherry is motionless still.
What a confrontation. No wonder this was pegged as the main event for this WWF hottest matches.
Sherry has not moved yet. She is out.
Knocked silly, knocked cold.
She's trying to open her eyes, but her body limbs are not moving. There's something wrong.
Brother Love, if he lays a kiss on, is that like Sleeping Beauty? No, that's the wrong.
This is not funny, Monsoon. This is a gorgeous woman.
To see Brother Love on his knees, trying to wake up Sensational Queen. Look at that fat piece of garbage.
There's concern on that man's
They
face.
all got their clocked clean, Brain, as far as I'm concerned.
Sherry could have some damage. She could have some...
Only the best seen here on Coliseum Home Video. And believe me, folks, this was a classic.
That woman could have a concussion. She's hurt.
The First Lady of Wrestling certainly had the last word in that barn burner. Well, that just about wraps it up for the WWF's hottest matches. Hope that you enjoyed yourself in your nice air-conditioned room. Be sure to join us next month for the feature release, Hulkamania Forever. You won't want to miss that one. Hopefully, we'll have the thermostat fixed by that time. For Coliseum Video and the World Wrestling Federation, I'm